Hello kind people of YouTube. Not a proper video right now. I will upload the news update with all the articles of the day and a look at the markets probably later on. Just wanted to quickly get ahead of this because it looks like XRP is going to take number 2 from Ethereum again in the coming minutes or hours. And I just wanted to briefly talk about why I think in the coming weeks XRP will permanently rip number 2 away from Ethereum. Actually, let's update this. It might have already whipped it away just now. Nope, right now there are about 200 million between them. But we see here today XRP up 11.46%, Ethereum up 2.7%. To my knowledge, this all happened in the last hour or so. To my knowledge, there hasn't been any kind of particular news released. No clear catalyst for why this is happening, except the market sentiment that is finally seeing the light and realizing that XRP is going places, will be big, and are now trying to get in before the price explodes further. But I wanted to take a look at the 3-month graph here. This is market cap, and we see here Ripple XRP and Ethereum. Ethereum going down consistently, and Ripple XRP catching up with it closer and closer. In the last couple weeks, we have seen, I believe, 2, maybe 3 instances of XRP briefly ripping number 2 away from Ethereum, and it's looking like today will be the 3rd time. And we see them just keep getting closer and closer. Here we have the 3-month view. You see it especially started around the 19th when all the prices started shooting up, and now they are so close together and just getting closer and closer. Looking at the 1 month here, we see on the 21st, I can't quite get the view here, when it ever so briefly took away number 2. Then of course, after it went up almost 100%, the XRP price crashed a bit as was expected. People were selling off, people wanted to get their profits, and then a lot of people rebought here. And then a couple days ago on the 27th, almost exactly a week later, we saw it briefly take number 2 again right here. And now if we're looking at the 1 day, we are getting so incredibly close again. These prices are getting so close together, and it just keeps closing more and more. It keeps overtaking it. First it was a week apart, now it seems to be every 3 days or so. I think in the coming days or weeks we will see it permanently overtake Ethereum. Now, of course, I don't only follow this belief because of the movement for the last 3 months, or rather the last 2 weeks in particular. But I think there's some other reasons here as well. First of all, just the sentiment around XRP in the last couple of weeks has been incredible. A lot of people who used to hate on XRP are realizing that it doesn't just have a real use case, but it will be implemented very, very soon and in a very big way with major banks on board. Of course, XRapid is going live in the coming weeks, and once that happens, a lot of large banks will be using the XRP token as liquidity for international monetary transfers. That means the volume will skyrocket. That means a ton of people will be buying and selling XRP, and it should shoot the token up. At the latest, when that happens, we should see XRP definitely in number 2. And we got news about a week ago that it would happen within the next month. No exact date, but by the end of October it should be live and we should be seeing effects. Now, they might not be radical the moment it gets turned on, because we don't know if they're slowly but surely rolling it out to more and more banks, or if everyone is doing it at the same time. We don't know if they're testing out smaller amounts and then moving their way up, but we should see instant effects anyways. They might just not be as big as some are expecting. By that point, we should definitely see XRP in number 2. But with the movement from the last 2 weeks, I think it's very likely to happen before then. I think either this time or the time after, once XRP takes number 2, it might just be there permanently. It has consistently outperformed Ethereum lately, and even with Ethereum making a significant return from $180 to $230, which is also quite a lot of growth, it is nothing compared to XRP just about doubling in value. That is of course much more amazing. And there's also just the thing, XRP, Ripple, they are getting good news pretty much every day. And they are one of the few major cryptocurrencies where we don't have scandals or issues with their technology all the time. Bitcoin, just a couple days ago, a major flaw in the code came to light. A a flaw that big that it turned into an actual scandal that mainstream news was reporting on, because someone could have just made their own Bitcoin tokens in addition to the 21 million that are supposed to exist. Someone could have just made more. Such a big issue in their code was revealed. Then Ethereum, we have the difficulty bomb that they have to delay. We have a lot of discussion. We have a lot of uncertainty about the near future of the token. And EOS, we had the launch earlier this year that was as much as I support the token, the launch was disastrous. It took way too long to build their blockchain, and EOS is still frozen in some exchanges. You still can't move it. Like all these major coins, they just have there's just issues with their tech coming out. There are scandals. XRP, everything so far just seems to be working. They're silently building more and more partnerships. They're silently developing their tech. They're giving back by donating millions and millions and millions. There's just such better market sentiment around XRP than there is around any of the other major tokens. And between XRapid launching next month, dozens of banks going to start using the XRP token, the good sentiment around it, people realizing this is going to happen and trying to flow into XRP before it happens. This might be the last chance to get XRP under $1, and people know that, and people are trying to get in as quickly as they can. And with Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS not getting that same level of great news, but rather very mixed news lately. That doesn't mean they're bad projects or anything, it just means lately there has probably been at least equal amounts bad and good news surrounding them. While XRP, Ripple, it has been almost entirely good news, and the criticisms that people have of the product are mainly things that the people that are actually aiming to use XRP don't really care about, like whether it is centralized or not. Banks don't care. Like, that is the kind of thing that crypto diehards who are in it for ideological reasons believe in. It is not what the people that this product is aimed at care about. So all these arguments just kind of slide off the XRP token and Ripple the company. And we see interest in XRP in Ripple going up significantly. We saw search results spike. According to Google Trends, search were a lot more people than pretty much ever before were searching for XRP and for Ripple the last couple of weeks. All of this leads me to believe that we are looking at the new number 2 in the market. If not in the next couple days, then definitely by October. And yeah, we see them now only 200 million apart. It is getting close, and the trends, of course, something could always go terribly wrong. We could get a piece of bad news, someone could crash the markets, Ethereum could get really great news and shoot up ahead of XRP. Those are all possible, of course. We can't predict the future 100%. But I think the way it's looking right now, all the signs are pointing at XRP becoming the new number 2 permanently, or at least in the near future and middle future in the crypto markets. And I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes because a bunch of people have told me that it's ridiculous to believe that XRP is going anywhere. That will always be people call it a shitcoin. I think we are going to be proving those people wrong in the very near future. And I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes. Leave your opinions in the comments, of course. I have to refresh again. I just want to see. Okay, still about 300 million out. They're battling. But it is very much looking like XRP will grab number 2 from Ethereum a bunch of times in the short term, in the coming couple of days and weeks, and at some point it will just remain in number 2. It will stop dropping once it reaches it. We see the frequency of it overtaking Ethereum, drawing closer and closer together. It's not taking a week anymore, it's just taking a couple of days for it to recover and to test the number 2 again. So I think we're looking at a very interesting future for XRP. Probably in October, but also for the rest of the year. Well, that is going to be it for this video. The proper news update will be later today, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support this channel, there are ways to do that in the description. If you want to give a small crypto donation or something, that is really appreciated. My social media links are also there, and thanks a lot for watching. I'll be talking to you guys soon.